Welcome to the Tech Mobility Podcast, brought to you by Playbook Investors Network, your strategic partner for unstoppable growth. Visit pincommunity.org to get started.
I'm Ken Chester. On the docket, bought Auto's first humanless commercial run, teen driving school on steroids, and can fast trains survive in America? To add your voice to the conversation, to be to ask a question, share an opinion, or even suggest a topic for future discussion, call or text the Tech Mobility Hotline. That number, 872-222-9793, or you can email the show directly, talk@techmobility.show. From the Tech Mobility News Desk, this has been months in the making. And I'm so excited to share this with you now. I've been telling you, kind of dropping hints, that I had a project in the works. Well, the project was a book. I wrote a book. And not just any book. It starts with a premise. What if you have an idea, you have a concept, something that is always rolling around the back of your head, and you say, gee, if I had time, money, whatever, I would do something about this. But you're like most of us today. You are living your best life, family, friends, work, obligations. Who has time for something else? But the idea doesn't go away. It still stays there. And you go, man, I wish. I got you. The title of the book is called 2-Hour Entrepreneur. And the book it imagines what could you do if you could set aside 2 hours a week, not a day, a week, 2 hours. For context, that is 100 hours plus a year, or 2.5 work weeks a year. My book takes that grain of an idea and helps you to develop it, helps you to go through the steps of first carving out the time, second, trying to come up with a concept that you can move forward on, third, putting it in order, getting it tested, getting it launched, trying to find out if there's some there, and doing it in 2 hours a week, bites, with a minimum of financial effort. See, it's one of the big things, and I tackle that because I was like where you were about 35 years ago, my first business. I was working for a Fortune 500 company at the time here in Iowa. I was traveling over 100 miles a day. I had 3 small kids at home, married, working full-time. And the company I was working for was consolidating, meaning I was either going to have to change jobs or move and didn't want to do either. So on this plane flight, I'm just thinking, and the whispered idea says, start your own business. And I did like many of you probably did. I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have connections, but the idea wouldn't go away. And from that moment, it became my first of 2 national companies that I built from scratch, working full time, by the way. I didn't quit my job in either case and built them both from scratch. What I'm doing now, what I want to do now, is help you to do the same thing. My book is divided into really 6 pillars. It represents 6 pillars, a step-by-step build, I call it, with no skip pieces. Pillar 1, foundation. Think like a 2-hour entrepreneur. I help you wrap your mind around being in business for yourself as opposed to just being an employee, because it does take a mind reset. It does take an effort to say, this is an investment of my time, as opposed to an allocation like at work. It leads into the second pillar, developing the systems, finding your hours and arming yourself, finding where 2 hours a week actually live in your calendar. Learn time management approach that helps protect them from being eaten. In other words, you make up your mind, you find the time, and you protect that time. And then you assemble what I call a minimum technology toolkit, how to use AI without getting lost in it. And let me tell you right now, AI is the great equalizer. You don't have to be a genius in code. You don't have to know computer programming. Trust me, I don't. But just nibbling at it, just exploring with it, just working with it will do more to leverage your time and your knowledge and your capabilities. And trust me, it gets smarter as you get smarter. And both of y'all get smarter. AI is part of the key. Pillar number 3, something I call branding. Validate, clarify, and build your offer. Work from a scattered list of ideas, and that would be me, an idea a minute, to one workable concept. Run a 2-hour validation sprint with real people. Build a minimum viable offer with a real price attached. Number 4, fourth pillar, plan. Craft a message that gets results. Translate your customer's own words in a one-sentence offer that any non-expert can repeat. Here's a hint. If your ideal customer can't repeat what you do after one sentence, it's too complicated. And all you have is noise. Number 5, pillar number 5, launch. Your people, your market. Everybody has a round or a sphere of influence. You have people, family, and people outside family. Identify your actual market. Reach your first prospects through channels you already have. Build a simple sales funnel that runs inside 2-hour blocks. And don't be crazy about the word funnel. I was too. It really isn't all that fancy sales lingo. The book will explain it. And it's really easy. And then finally, pillar number 6, I call it lightning in a bottle. You got your first 5 paid customers. And let me stop right here. Here's something I learned. This is free. This is not extra. Your first customer, all you need to do is sell that concept, that service, that product to one person. One person who's not a friend or family. Somebody who actually decides that they need that for whatever reason. They want to buy that because it will help them solve a problem, make something easier, or resolve something in their lives. If you can sell 1, you can sell 2. If you can sell 2, you can sell 5. If you can sell 5, you're on your way. My book is a step-by-step process to help you get unstuck. Maybe you're in business. Maybe you've already made some of the first steps, but you don't know where to go from here. My book will help you. It's designed for real life. That's what I call it. People who are living the real deal. You know, we got everything else going on. We want to do this, but we don't know how it fits in. We don't know where to start. And we're overwhelmed because everything coming at you. I'm here to tell you, don't be. And as a kind of a closing thing, I want to read something to you because I think if I was to give you one gift, I'm going to read something right from the book because I think it's the most important thing you need to hear whether you buy my book or not. You need to hear this. And it's chapter 2 in my book. And I call it the most dangerous word in entrepreneurship. Most businesses don't fail because of bad ideas. They fail because the word but ended the conversation before the first steps were taken. Let's look at what stops most people from even starting. A single 3-letter word. And surely you probably said some of this. I want to start a business, but I don't have the time. I said that. I don't have the money. I definitely said that. I don't have the connections. Guilty as charged. I don't live in the right part of the country. There are already too many competitors. I'm scared to try. All of that sounds logical, doesn't it? Reasonable even. All of those will stop you from overcoming because all of those, every last one of them, is overcomable. And this chapter, which is chapter 2 in my book, will help you get there and explain the why and how to overcome the but. The 2-Hour Entrepreneur is available now on Amazon, or you can get it from my website, KennethJChester.com. Click on the book in the header. The event has been years in the making. A truly autonomous truck makes a paid commercial run. You are listening to Tech Mobility Show. me talk for years about technology, disruption, innovation, and adapting to change. But the one thing I've also learned in more than 3 decades in business is this. Most people never start because they think they don't have enough time. That's why I wrote 2 Hour Entrepreneur, a practical guide for building a real business in just 2 focused hours a week. Available now on Amazon, Kindle, Goodreads.com, and KennethJChester.com. 2 Hour Entrepreneur, because your future deserves 2 hours.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Quick question. What could your life look like 1 year from now if you invested just 2 focused hours a week into building something of your own? That's the idea behind my new book, 2 Hour Entrepreneur. No hype, no hustle culture, just practical steps to help busy people finally move from idea to action. Available now on Amazon, Kindle, Goodreads.com, and KennethJChester.com. 2 Hour Entrepreneur. Start where you are.
You hear car, and what comes to mind? Okay, that's not car. And it's not 2 tons of metal, glass, and rubber. Car. The reason you got your license in the first place. The way you felt about your first car. It makes a kid pick up a crayon. And toy companies make these out of one of these. Car is why we'll stop for a chase scene. Or go just to go. It's back seats and rear-wheel drive. Car is passion, emotion, and yes, even a little vanity. Because unlike other vehicles, car is all about you. And car is what makes a Pontiac a Pontiac. Whether it's the Solstice GXP, G6 GXP Coupe, or coming this spring, the first ever Pontiac G8 GT, the most powerful car under 30 grand.
For those of you who may not recognize the name Pontiac was a division of General Motors from 1926 to 2009. Pontiac was known in the 60s as the wide track division. They were the division that the cars sat a little wider. They were the performance division of General Motors, generally, was regarded. The commercial you just heard was one of the last for that division before GM's bankruptcy and Pontiac's discontinuance. So chances are you probably have never seen a Pontiac Solstice, may not have even seen a Pontiac GT, which was actually imported from Australia, believe it or not, from their Holden subsidiary. Maybe you never even heard of a Pontiac Vibe. But yes, they existed. They existed a long time ago. Now, roughly what? 16, 17 years ago, when the brand finally went away after all those many years. But I wanted to share that extra long in case you'd never heard of it in your recent memory. And for those of us who remember, because my dad was a Pontiac man for many years, and I can tell that story for about 20 years. Pontiac. For those of you who remember, let's go wide tracking. In 2015, an autonomous tractor-trailer rig moved a load of Budweiser beer some 120 miles from Court Collins, the brewery, to a warehouse in Colorado Springs, Colorado, a distance of 120 miles. It was done in the morning over a weekend. Safety drivers were actually in the rig Colorado State Police were actually along the route. It was regarded at that time as the first commercial load moved, and I put this in parentheses, autonomously in the United States. Fast forward 11 years. Fast forward to this year, 2026. The company's name is Bot Auto, B-O-T, started 3 years ago. Their tractor-trailer rig moved 231 miles from Houston to Hutchins, Texas. No safety driver, no state police, no remote monitoring driver. This truck actually moved a paying load by itself. And it arrived on time to meet a shipper's tight delivery window. If you had any questions, welcome to the future. This is Topic A. We have been talking about for years the activity of a number of companies to develop autonomous trucking, really autonomous trucking. A number of those companies had pivoted because if you go back 10 years, the big to-do in the 2017s and 18s were autonomous cars. But for many different reasons, that wasn't getting the traction necessary. And for the investment, a number of those companies pivoted because they had to. This run went from Riggy's truck parking in northeast Houston to Safe Stop in Hutchins, just south of Dallas. It departed at 1:16 a.m. in the morning on April 29th. Gee, a little late. This happened almost 2 months ago. And arriving at 4:57 a.m. Central Time. The article was very clear. The freight arrived on time to meet a shipper's tight delivery window. We've talked about a lack of drivers. We've talked about drivers that are aging out. We've talked about the difficulties in moving loads across country and how hard it is to find drivers that want to cover those distances. We've talked about federal hours of service, which is a law which limits how many hours contiguously behind the wheel any driver can be in a 24-hour period. All of these things add up to real cost and real friction with respect to moving freight. This driverless journey went up Interstate 45, and it was booked through Ryan Transportation, a third-party logistics provider who is ranked number 19 on the 2025 Transport Topics Top 100 Freight Brokerage list. And as I said earlier, the run addressed a shipper's need for tight delivery windows and service consistency, including overnight transit. It's the kind of freight traditional capacity often struggles to cover reliably because, to be honest, most human drivers prefer to drive during the day, making nighttime-only drivers a scarce commodity, not to mention all the challenges that come with sleep degradation. Here's what the CEO of Bot Auto said, and this is important. We did not build a demonstration. We built a business. Commercial freight on public roads with no human in the cab or remote driving, operating between third-party logistics hubs, and this is the most important thing, and most importantly, making money on every mile. Because at the end of the day, trucking, folks, is a business. Now, how much money you said? Well, let's break it down. If you're in the trucking industry, you know this industry lives and dies by the per mile. Here's their economics. Bot Auto says that truck moved at $1.89 a mile. Industry average for moving a load like that, $2.26 a mile. That's a gain of 37 cents a mile. You start multiplying that times the long runs that they make, and that adds up pretty quickly. This article from FreightWave says if you add a human driver to that, to Bot Auto's operation, that figure jumps almost over $1.50 to $3.78 a mile. $1.89, $2.26 average, $3.78 if someone was in that particular truck. People, this is not a test. Trucking companies are looking at the future and trying to make up their minds with everything that's in front of them. And they have decided that as these autonomous trucking methodologies get perfected, that at least in the southwestern part of the United States and in the South, it is doable right now. And in Texas, it's happening. And they're not the only company that will be doing this. Other companies have been testing for a while, and they're rolling their stuff out this year. Commercial trucking is changing, folks. Imagine taking driver's ed at a racetrack. In Wisconsin, it's a thing. Teen driving at Road America. This is the Tech Mobility Show. Quick question. What could your life look like 1 year from now if you invested just 2 focused hours a week into building something of your own? That's the idea behind my new book, 2 Hour Entrepreneur. No hype, no hustle culture, just practical steps to help busy people finally move from idea to action. Available now on Amazon Kindle, Goodreads.com, and KennethJChester.com. 2 Hour Entrepreneur. Start where you are.
Every great business starts with a spark, but taking it to the next level takes strategy, connections, and capital. That's where Playbook Investors Network comes in. We're your strategic partner for accelerating growth, navigating challenges, and capturing market opportunities before your competition does. Your business is more than an idea. Let's make it an impact. Playbook Investors Network. Your future starts here. Learn more at pincommunity.org.
As a member of the Midwest Automotive Media Association, I get the unique opportunity every year to participate in what the organization calls its Spring Rally. Held May of each year at Road America, a legendary Sports Car Club of America sanctioned track and facility in the small town of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, automotive journalists get to experience a variety of vehicles in a number of situations, on the street, on the track, and off-road. While I was there, I learned that the Road America organization also offers something called the Road America Teen Driving Program. All I can say is driver's ed looked nothing like that when I was a kid. Welcome to Topic B. Can you imagine driver's education at a racetrack, subsidized in part by a local insurance company, and they let your parents come to watch you? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Let me introduce you to the Road America Teen Driving Program. They said, go beyond driver's ed. The best drivers start here. For more than 12 years, the West Bend Insurance Company, which is the official insurance company of the Teen Driving Program, has proudly supported this initiative to make Wisconsin roads safer. I'm jealous, Wisconsin. I just want you to know. Through hands-on instruction, teens learn essential defensive driving techniques such as emergency braking, hazard recognition, and collision avoidance, skills designed to build confidence, responsibility, and safer driving habits. How much do you think this would cost? Well, they're talking it's a one-day event, all day, and it's $185 a driver. But if you are a customer of West Bend Insurance Company, it's only $115. Imagine that. Talk about an added incentive. So who's the class for? And they identify new teen drivers ready to build confidence behind the wheel, teens with a learner's permit, or newly licensed drivers seeking advanced skills beyond standard driver's education. Wait a minute. A teen with a learner's permit can go to Road America to learn defensive driving? That is too cool. I'm sorry, that's too cool. You're scared of the road, and you can be off-road learning at Road America. If you've never been to that kind of racetrack, Think more Formula One, less oval. It's not NASCAR. It's an actual track that goes here and there and everywhere where you do timing and laps and things like that, a more traditional track. Parents who want their teens to practice critical driving skills in a safe, controlled, off-street environment. That works. Particularly, my wife wanted nothing to do with teaching our kids how to drive. No, that's your problem. You do it. Yeah, this has been cool. Teens who want hands-on experience with braking, steering control, and collision avoidance drills under professional supervision. Let me define that for you. We ain't talking the high school gym teacher who does driver's ed. We are talking about professional race car kind of people affiliated with Road America, the instructors and the drivers, them kind of folk. It's also for families who value proactive safety training focused on real-world scenarios. Okay. And they say, why? And I'm like, why not? Are you kidding me? Why Road America? Real-world skills, real confidence. Teens practice emergency braking, emergency lane changes, skid control, and collision avoidant techniques that go beyond the classroom instruction. In other words, everything that current advanced driver assistance systems are taking over, it's always good to know because you never know when you're gonna need them. Another reason, safe and controlled setting. Training takes place off-street in a supervised environment where young drivers can learn and make mistakes without the road traffic risk. You couldn't get a safer place than Road America. One thing about these tracks is they eat, breathe, think, dream, bleed safety. Because they host so many different events, and because even if you own a race car and you want to drive it there, there's certain things that are required. You just don't show up with your trailer and load your car and go. So safety is a big deal, and I can't think of a safer place on the planet for somebody, one, to learn the philosophy of safety when behind the wheel and driving, and second, to be in an environment where safety is the number one thing above everything that they do there. Experienced instructors. Students learn from instructors who guide them through hands-on exercises designed to build better judgment and car control. These are people. This is their job. This is their experience. Drivers, teachers, they teach other performance drivers. They teach people who drive way faster than that. Training, years of it. What better way to get that infused into your child and get good habits infused into your child to get it from somebody who has decades of this kind of experience? 1 day course, 1 day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. during the summer. They provide a sedan type and an SUV type. They provide. You have to have at least a learner's permit or valid driver's license. There are a list of rules. You have to follow the rules, people. They ain't having it. This is not the place to decide to be a rebel. They will not. It will not happen. I understand that this is not just this place, but it's nationwide. And Road America's teen driving program has a long history of helping young drivers develop defensive driving skills and greater awareness behind the wheel. And if anything, in today's world, we need a greater awareness behind the wheel. This actually would be perfect for those folks who have been shy about driving, have been driving late, getting the license later because they're not sure. This would be the perfect course for them. Totally would be. Totally would be. It's divided in, your day is divided into 3 parts. 1 part is classroom, 2 parts hands-on. And in the driving exercises, the participants will partake in their word, not mine, intense car control drills behind the wheel with up to 2 other students and an instructor in the vehicle. Intense. And then they say this: Please consult your doctor if you have motion sickness or any other medical condition that may affect your experience. Did I mention intense? Intense. And parents and family are encouraged to sit in the classroom and to spectate driving exercises so you can see for yourself what your child is learning. And I think this is a brilliant idea. I'm so jealous. Oh, boy. Wisconsin, where were you when I was a kid? This would have been worth it if I could have tucked my parents into it. I don't know. But I think this would have been an incredibly cool experience to have to develop your driving experience and get better and start solid. I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Road America, because I did not know. Brightline's experience in Florida showed an interest in modern, fast passenger trains. Why is the company in trouble now? We are the Tech Mobility Show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
You know, after years of hosting these programs and talking with entrepreneurs, innovators, and business leaders, I realized something. A lot of people aren't lacking ideas. They're lacking a realistic path to start. That's why I wrote 2-Hour Entrepreneur. It's for people with jobs, families, responsibilities, and dreams that have been sitting on the shelf for too long. Launching now on Amazon Kindle, Goodreads.com, and KennethJChester.com. 2-Hour Entrepreneur. Progress starts small.
You've got the drive. You've got the vision. Now you need the right partner to make it happen. At Playbook Investors Network, we power ambitious leaders with the tools, insight, and investment connections to move faster, grow stronger, and lead markets. We're more than advisors. We're your co-pilots in success. Because in business, standing still is not an option. Playbook Investors Network, fueling ambition, delivering results. Visit pincommunity.org.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
I just want to be clear and honest with you before we even start. I love trains. Have been from a kid. Love trains. Love trains. I love trains so much that the home page for my cell phone is the picture, the front of a steam locomotive of a ride I took 5 years ago right here in Des Moines on the Iowa Interstate Railroad. That engine. I love trains. First 20 years of my life, I was within 4 miles of the Boston and Maine Fitchburg line. I could hear the whistle. I was within 4 miles of that track and that whistle all day and night. So I love trains. There's a reason for me wanting to make sure you knew that. When Brightline, a private train service, launched in Florida 5 years ago, its sleek new trains and spotless new train stations drew praise and customers alike. And despite service to 6 cities, and ridership that's up over 20% from last year, the company's running out of money. How could so much right go so wrong? This is topic C. Let me share with you an inconvenient truth. When it comes to roads, when it comes to airlines, the United States of America, the federal government and state and local governments spend not billions, trillions. It was the federal government in the 1950s that started building the interstate highway system. And who benefits from that? Truckers do, bus companies do, we do. The federal government underwrote that. If you're flying out of a small town on a commercial aircraft, I don't know, Cedar Rapids, or some other non-major hub, Sioux City maybe, I don't know, Mankato, Minnesota, perhaps. If you've got air service into that locale, guess what? The FAA is paying a subsidy to support the service. Why? Because the cost of the density is not enough to support a regular for-profit business, and that they determine that service to that community is of the public good and necessary. Railroads, though, another matter. The nation's freight railroads were built with private money. Oh, yeah, they may have started with a state charter, and they may have started with state bonds that the railroad had to pay back, by the way, but mostly private money. Brightline is a private company that started a while back. And it's funny because the fellow who started Brightline was actually impressed and influenced by something that happened in the 1800s in Florida on the very rail line that he is currently using. It's called the Florida East Coast Railroad. And the Florida East Coast Railroad went down the east coast of Florida all the way to the Florida Keys, providing rail service and really changing the whole future of Florida, which up till then was just kind of swampy marsh and mosquitoes. That one rail line was the basis that turned the whole state around. Unfortunately, due to hurricanes and everything else in the 1930s, which damaged the line south of Miami so much that the railroad could not afford to fix it. U.S. Route 1, by the way, is that rail line. If you get to Key West on the road, you're really following the old rail line. They could not afford to fix it. Brightline took that as inspiration and started it. In the United States, we do not have what you consider, or as defined in Europe, high-speed rail or fast rail. We certainly don't have the bullet trains of Japan at 200 miles an hour. And the Acela sets running in the Northeast Corridor, which is about as close as you can get, 130, 140 miles an hour. The Brightline trains from basically Miami to Orlando, I think we're running at 125 miles an hour. But the economics, for all the billions they spent to upgrade the track and everything, safety was not tantamount. Why? I'll tell you why. When you're starting with basically a freight line and you are trying to upgrade it, most of these lines have gone decades without preventative maintenance. So you're literally rebuilding this thing almost as if it didn't exist. You are spending millions of dollars a mile. The difference. In a private situation, you want to get that line up as soon as possible. Problem is, these freight lines were built through cities and towns, and it's something called an at-grade crossing. It means where you have to stop for a train, and the train has to cross in front of you. The most dangerous type of interaction between railroads, cars, pedestrians, cyclists, at-grade crossings. The difference, why didn't Brightline just build out and get rid of most of these? Would have added billions of dollars to the cost, which they did not have. The state of Florida floated $5.9 billion in bonds they have to pay back in order to launch this thing. And that was just to do what they did. If you were going to do more get rid of those, at-grade crossings, that would have added billions of dollars to it. Something that, government could have helped out with. Said, hey, if you want to spend this, we'll spend that. We'll be a public-private corporation. That has happened, people. I'm not going to bore you with railroad history right now, but you can look this up. One word, Conrail. Look it up, and you'll understand what I mean. Amtrak, same thing. And Amtrak's still struggling, by the way. The challenge, they want to do this now in California. They want a line between Las Vegas and Los Angeles, which to me sounds like a brilliant idea. Anything that can get people off the road and be safer, they got to get the numbers to work, though. They need to increase the speed of these things in order to make it comparable to flying without having to fly, or less distance in a car. And that's kind of where they're at. It's faster slightly than a car. It's faster than going through trying to fly and get there, but not quite fast enough to justify the amount of money they need to charge to make it work. So they're in this conundrum. They need to spend more money. They don't have the money to spend. They can't raise the rates the way they need to. And while ridership is up big time, it's still below the numbers they originally projected. So if you're out there and you are in favor of high-speed rail in the United States, it's going to take some government involvement, whether you like it or not, just like roads, just like airlines, everything else. They're going to have to pony up. It's not a gimme, folks. It's an alternative. And it's a good alternative because that infrastructure is right there. We just need to optimize it, make it safer, make it faster, so more people can get a greater benefit from it.
This is the Tech Mobility Podcast.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to start your business idea, let me save you some time. That moment probably isn't coming, but 2 focused hours a week? Yeah, most of us can find that. In my new book, 2-Hour Entrepreneur, I'll show you how small, consistent effort can create real momentum toward building something meaningful. Launching now on Amazon Kindle, Goodreads.com, and KennethJChester.com. 2-Hour Entrepreneur, built for real life.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
You've heard me talk for years about technology, disruption, innovation, and adapting to change. But the one thing I've also learned in more than 3 decades in business is this. Most people never start because they think they don't have enough time. That's why I wrote 2-Hour Entrepreneur, a practical guide for building a real business in just 2 focused hours a week. Available now on Amazon, Kindle, Goodreads.com, and KennethJChester.com. 2-Hour Entrepreneur, because your future deserves 2 hours.